Hi, my name is Jafra and welcome to my page, Jafra360. If you are new to my page, in my last video I mentioned that I was paralyzed for the past 10 years and I've started this vlog in order to share a bit about my life and what it is like living with a spinal cord injury and life in a wheelchair in general, the different challenges and ways that you could overcome these challenges. Just to show that there's still life and you can still live a normal, productive, exciting life. So I went through that stage of depression for about 1.5 years. And I eventually started just coming out a little more, coming outside of my bed a bit more, stuff like that. And I eventually wanted to do more. As I say, I don't consider myself disabled. I consider myself differently able, so I do things differently. And at the point in time I didn't know what was my abilities, what I could have done. So that first phase was a very depressing. And when I say that first phase, I still go through severe sessions, bouts of depression, and it's more frustration than depression now. I think I've reached the stage of frustration and overcome the depression. I believe so. But reaching to this stage, it had a few different phases I went through. The next stage I believe I went was accepting that okay, you're paralyzed and you need to figure out some sort of normalcy in your life. Um, Advice that I got when I was in one of the hospitals, I can't remember which one. There was this guy that was talking about a situation or someone that he knew was paralyzed or himself. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he was saying that leave me alone, let me do what I have. If I have to get food, let me drag on the ground and go to the kitchen or whatever, make some little thing with wheels and let him drag and go and get it. And my parents, myself, I was like, that's harsh, that's cruel, whatever. And I'm not saying that you should do that. But what he was trying to say is that don't wait to start being active. Be active now. Don't be dependent on someone to try to be independent from initially from the as soon as it happens. And if I had taken that advice, I would have been a lot further in terms of my progress and my development. 10 years being paralyzed for my personal position here, I am way behind. And again, this vlog, I hope it helps me to push myself harder, push myself further, and develop myself more. So, one advice I have for someone maybe who just got paralyzed, or if you have a family member or someone you know that got paralyzed, don't wait to start exercising and start doing as much as you could and pushing your limits and see what you could do. Don't wait for your muscles to seize up and your joints to get tight and not as flexible and stuff. Don't wait for your skin to start breaking down where you get bed sores or whatever. And try and do as much as possible from as early as possible as you can. I wish I had understood that advice that that man had given me at that time, and I had, as he said, drag, do whatever, and try and push yourself as much, do what you have to do. But 10 years later, I could watch back and I could give someone else that advice and not just tell them drag, but to give them the reasons why they should push themselves more. Another bit of advice I'd give someone is to find something that they like doing to keep them occupied, to keep you active and keep your mind off the paralysis. Yes, you have to develop yourself physically, but you also have to develop yourself in terms of keeping your mind active. I fortunately, before I got paralyzed, I did photography. So photography was my escape to keeping active and wanting to do more in terms of when I was on bed. I loved photography so much that it is what I would just go outside with my camera just to take macro photography of flowers or insects. So it was a reason for me to come off the bed. And even when I was on the bed, it was something that I was always researching and learning, reading upon and stuff. Mind you, this was after the stage of depression and stuff, because during the stage of depression, I didn't want to hear nothing. As I said, I couldn't see my life doing anything. To me, my life didn't have a purpose or a value. So eventually, as I said, I got to the stage where I wanted to come out to do photography because of my love for photography. And to this day, I still do. It is still something that my relief that gets me out of bed and stuff. I would do photo shoots and stuff just because a lot of people would ask me to do shoots and I would tell them no. But ever so often, I would let a few people know that, okay, I might do something. And it's more of a therapy for myself to get out and do something. So get some sort of hobby, something to keep active, something to keep your mind active and your thoughts not only on the paralysis. Because when you're in bed, you end up being a Google doctor, and you Google any little symptom you have, you Google it, and you get a chest pain and you see 10 different diagnosis. It could be heart attack, could be this and whatever. And it turns out to be the simplest gas pain. What I'm saying is that when you just there and you dwell and you think about the sickness, it gets you more sick, in my opinion. So find something to do to take your mind off these sicknesses, well, off of your situation. I remember one of the first few photographies that I came out to do, I remember doing a preschool graduation. I remember doing, I have a friend, Kino, he had a dog show. I remember doing a dog show. And one I remember doing in particular was a motorcycle group, Rockstar Nation. Some guys I used to hang out with before. Um, I didn't know them personally. I knew them. I knew a few of them better than others. But I remember they had a bike show, been stunting, and I remember going to that event and taking my camera, and I remember feeling that a sense of purpose going out there, being with people that I knew and people that events, because this event had thousands of people, and me there with my camera capturing the different moments and stuff like that, posting the pictures online and yeah, after the event. And just I remember that feeling that I felt like I was doing something again. And that's why I advise that you find something that you can do to keep your mind off your sickness. If, as I said, if someone is watching this video and is going through the same at an early stage, or if you know someone that is going through paralysis, that has been recently paralyzed or is down and depressed because of it. Also, another source of strength for me was God. I'm a person that grew up in church, and I always prayed and asked God for the strength and courage to help me go through this. Because sometimes, quite often, 95% of the time, you have nobody else to talk to. And that is another topic for another time, in terms of not having people to talk to. But for me, I always prayed and always had God to talk to. So that's another source of my strength. I was also fortunate to have family members that were very close and helpful and always around, always willing to help. I am, I can't say I was, I am a very miserable paraplegic. When I'm in bed and I can't get out, I always have something that I want. Mom, Anisha, whoever, hand me a battery for a camera, hand me this cord. My mother could hook up a TV, a projector, everything because if I can't reach it, she has to do it for me. So she eventually learned any of my projects that I'm doing. She's the one that had to be there. And okay, hand me this, hand me that. I can't find a screwdriver, go and get a screwdriver, whatever. So I thank God for people, for having family members to support me. And again, if you're watching this, support bases is good to have. If and this is not for the person that paralyzed. I'm saying this for. I'm saying this for the people that are not paralyzed. We, myself, and other people, they need support. Don't just say, okay, yeah, I'll be there. Anything you want, check me or whatever and thing. And it's not a matter of where you want, It's just a matter of sometimes having somebody to talk to or somebody to be around. Somebody just to, you know, hang out with. Again, another discussion for another day because I could say a whole lot about that because it's one of my biggest source of disappointment that I had to overcome. I eventually learned to depend on myself and not on if I understand it fall in your garden. Well, no love lost, but I guess it was different phases that I went through because there's another guy that I know who is paralyzed that I want to have an interview with. And his main thing is reaching out to people and talking to people, even though he's on a wheelchair, well, paralyzed, just like myself. And I always tell him that I'm totally opposite from him when it comes to that because I feel like people disappointed me a lot and I am quite reluctant to help them. But he's the total opposite. And it's something I'm working on in terms of trying to be more open to other people and understanding because everybody have their own problems they just go through. So yeah, so that was the next phase I went through in my life in terms of now wanting to do more, wanting to get out there, wanting to have a life and experimenting as what I could do, what I can't do. And I was getting there. However, it don't have much information out there and I was lucky enough in the next stage of my um, going through this, the next stage, I always consider this as the next stage, which was meeting a guy by the name of Kriyan Singh. Some people might know him from Facebook and stuff. He is paralyzed as well in a wheelchair. And the first time I saw him, not when I met him, when I saw him, he had taken part in Hardcore Trinidad. That's a race that was, I believe, in Carnage, O2 Park or somewhere, where through the forests with mud and you have to climb and cover whatever distance. And the final point was you have to swim out to a jetty and then jump in the water from off the jetty and swim back to shore. And this was, I'm talking about a person in a wheelchair. And when I saw that, I realized that, I think that was the first time I realized that there's no limitation to what a person in a wheelchair could do. Because even now, he's a person that I look up to. Nothing keeps him back. He's a vet. a certified vet by profession, and he does everything. He does everything. He drives, he lives on his own, but he's fully independent. It would there I guess there would be times he needs someone to assist in certain things, but he has a fully independent life. And when I initially saw him and saw this, I contacted him, and he's a very um, cool person. We spoke for quite a while. He invited me to his home, showed me different equipments he used. At that time, I had this big, heavy wheelchair. He showed me his wheelchair, the way he moves about in it. At that time in my life, I realized, okay, we could do this. And I had started going to the gym with him and exercising with him. And he drives. He started showing me how to drive. He taught me how to drive. Well, I used to drive before, so learning how to drive wasn't the issue. Was controlling the car with your hands now instead of with your feet. And it was simple because I said I knew to drive from before. And I realized, yeah, okay, there's a lot I could do. So that phase of my life, and which I think I'm in now, is the phase where I see any limitations as to my only limitation is where my wheelchair could fit. And I'll find a way to fit because I've been to places where people will see me and say, "Oh, you do here." Once I have people to help me and assist me, and I'll make it work. And that's the stage I'm at now. Um, I'm not saying that I don't have depression, or there are days that I still totally fed up, frustrated, feel like life isn't going anywhere, it's at a standstill. There are still those days, still plenty of those days. Especially, I think I have this problem where when I say I want to do something, a problem always comes up that keeps me back from doing it. Presently, I have to stay on bed, and as much as I want to come out, I have to stay on bed for a while. Hopefully, within the next few weeks, 2, 3 weeks, I should be up and about. We'll see how that goes. Once I'm up and about, the videos will become more exciting and more interactive and stuff. Because there's only so much I could do from on the bed. And yeah, so that's more or less how I got paralyzed and the different phases I went through. It's still not easy. Not because I'm making these videos, and the thing about it, whenever I leave home, people always say you always happy and smiling, and it just motivate me so much and inspire me. You will not see me out and about and not be in a happy, active mood. Once I leave my home, I don't leave my home with worries and stress, and unless, well, I hate going by the doctor, but once I'm not, once I'm out, you'll never see that expression on me. That, however, does not mean I am not going through different situations. That more or less sums up how I got paralyzed, and a brief touched on a few topics as to the different emotions and the different phases I've gone throughout the past 10 years of my paralysis. I have a lot more to share, different topics, different things. This was just about me, so you'll get to know me a little better. And I hope that me sharing my life, this information, reaches someone that needs to hear these things. As I say, it might necessarily be a person that is paralyzed or in a wheelchair, but people that are able and, well, fully abled, that they may know how to deal with people, they may know how the emotions that they'll be going through, and they might be able to understand them a bit better, because I'm sure quite a lot of people who are paralyzed went through similar emotions. Most of the people I spoke to are paralyzed. They have similar stories as to being down, depressed, being lonely, and people not having anyone to talk to, or the people that they used to talk to not around and stuff. Um, Looking for a purpose, looking for something to do. All the people that I've spoken to with paralysis, I believe they've went through this stage, those stages. So I hope my vlog encourages people to do better on both the disabled and fully able side of being paralyzed. Thank you for joining me in my vlog. Look forward to more discussions. I'll be sharing a bit more. You can comment in the comment section and let me know things you want me to discuss or talk about. Also, follow my Instagram page because there are short stuff that I won't do an entire video for, but I'll post it on Instagram. So I'll put my Instagram link, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this page, follow me, and comment and let me know what you think about the video and what more you want to see or hear about. And thanks for watching.